Coach Mike Larscheid here at Bentry Tennis, now called the Courts. We got the name changed from the Tennis Center. So we offered pickleball. We're sitting in our little area here with Gerald and Linda Thurman, some residents here at Bentry that started playing pickleball in the last couple of years. And these are our new blended lines on the indoor courts. I think we're the first ones in the nation, potentially, to blend our indoor courts. And Gerald, Linda, how long have you been in Bentry?
We've been in Bentry since connected with it since '76, but we bought our first property in the late '70s, early '80s.
Yeah.
So you came here from Gainesville.
Right.
Doing what?
Well, I'm a retired Methodist minister,
Okay.
and so upon our retirement, we started looking about where we might move, and we had connections here in Jasper due to the fact that my first appointment as a pastor was at Jasper First Methodist, and so we decided we'd just return here. We still had connections with various people, and found a house that we liked, and we bought that in 2008, 2012, and got settled in and got involved with pickleball. It was our first exposure to it, and it's been real positive.
Now, when you were here on your first stint, your kids were younger,
Yeah.
and you just had a lot here.
Mhm.
Or you had a cabin at that point?
We bought a cabin in '88
88.
and had it for 20 years,
So where did you live? Were you in Gainesville while you had your cabin?
all around North Georgia.
Okay, and so you'd come here and just
Mhm.
spend some
On
weekends, spend some
vacation.
time.
Just a way of getting away. Some of the churches where I served, we had our parsonage was right on the property with the church, and to get away, I had to get away, and so that was one of the reasons we purchased the cabin up here for a while, but later sold it in 2008, and then in retirement returned here and looking for a house.
Nice.
We came here from Stone Mountain, Duluth, LaGrange, wherever we lived in Gainesville.
All over. 49 years together this June.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so in 2004, you had some not so good news.
Right. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and it was, the doctor was very encouraging and advising us and providing the medications for it, and it really has progressed well with it, and it's been very slow affecting me physically. But one of the keys is staying active, along with the medications, is being active, and so pickleball was one challenging, athletic, physical experience that helped coping with the Parkinson's, and so done real well. I'm thankful for that.
How long were you playing before you were able to talk him into getting on the court? Or did you both start pretty much together?
We started pretty much together, and Judy had us out here golfing,
Mm-hmm.
and we were up there. And was it your first time?
Was it
You
one
had
of our indoor?
I'm not sure you want to share that. I don't know what she's
He
about.
can edit it, but he's very competitive, and he had played a lot of tennis, so he was used to the bounce,
Mhm.
Well, the pickleball just came over and sort of,
Died.
he
Right.
went running after it and lunged for it and knocked his front
Not
tooth out.
the tooth out.
I heard about the guy who knocked
And
the tooth
fractured-
out. That was
fractured
you.
my-
Okay.
And his
Bone
hand,
in the hand.
landed up, didn't drop his paddle.
I
though.
didn't put that together with Gerald. I heard the story of all the crashes in here, and I did
Yeah.
hear that story. So pickleball is, they say it's easier as you get older. I call it a teaser sport.
Yeah.
Because those of us that have played tennis, you played Alta,
Yeah.
played tennis a lot of your life.
Yeah.
For me, this is a teaser sport because we're not sure what the ball is going to do when we first get out. And the court's so small, it makes you think you can get it,
Right.
but you can't.
Well, playing tennis earlier on, I really didn't play tennis after mid-'80s, there's bigger churches and more requirements and demands on your time and all that. But so when you pick back up pickleball, your mind remembers how you used to run.
Oh, yeah.
And you get out here and your mind tells your legs to speed it up, and they don't mind. I mean, they don't obey, and so I took a dive right in front of them.
The mind remembers, the body not
That's
so
right.
good. So
That's
muscle
right.
memory's out the window. There's no memories in our muscles at all.
Right.
But he came right back to it, you know.
Yeah.
there
Well, I
was
think
that
those
much
of us that
fun.
have played a lot of tennis, I mean, we have an easier time transitioning to any of the racket sports. But I know with you having a history, you not having a history with tennis or racket sports, I still think the beauty of this game is how quick you can pick it up.
Yeah.
I do too. It's the fun thing for me was like just in a day or two, you had a little bit of success. You know, you hit some back.
And your grandkids are liking it.
That's right. They've enjoyed it
Wiley
too.
and
Bryant.
Bryant.
We have two that are real athletic and they love it.
Yeah, they've been here every year for Youth Fest, huge event that lasts for a week, and they've been on the tennis court with me quite a bit the last 6 years.
That's right.
So it's been really cool from my standpoint, in director of the courts now, to see these kids grow up as well, you know. But then to have pickleball last year, I think was the first time, maybe 2 years ago, it's the first time we added it, and to see these kids catching on, you know,
That's right.
it's really neat to see that kids don't. You put kids on the tennis court with parents or grandparents, it's not often very friendly or fun looking. But pickleball's different.
Yeah.
You know, you put grandkids and grandparents and parents on the court, and they're having a blast.
Yeah.
Was it Marion and
George.
George.
and their family, their
That's
extended
right.
family? Oh my gosh,
They had nieces, nephews, and cousins, and
they took all the courts just their family.
in-laws.
Yeah.
And, that was great.
You make good friends very quickly with the socializing that goes on between games, and the game itself, for some reason, it just attracts a good group of folks.
Well, the games are short,
Yeah.
so you can be off and on in a matter of 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
And with the people that show up, nobody wants to play for 2 hours in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to have that break.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice.
And
Now for
don't-
you were told to stay active more.
Yeah.
And so now you're in Bentry on the side of a mountain. So what do you got? You got a treadmill.
Yeah.
You know, you can get to the 19th hole and hang with some friends once in a while,
Yeah.
but unless you find something to do,
Mm-hmm.
drive yourself crazy pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's right.
So pickleball has been a good outlet for that, and it enjoyed it, and it gives you some competitiveness in the sport. It's not too demanding on you. So,
Well, you got that nasty serve that everybody talks about.
well,
He does.
when I'm hitting it,
Yeah. Gerald throws in the deep balls, and he has this trick little short serve that looks like it's going to be the same as his other ones, and people can't
Out the
stand it.
side.
Out the side.
oh man.
He practices on me.
One of the things I've also found that is a very positive thing about pickleball is that I mean, you go other places and you can find pickleball courts and playing. And down St. Simon's Island, we went played on some outdoor courts they had there this past summer. Then our daughter lives up on Lookout Mountain, and her husband George playing pickleball. And there's a group there on Lookout Mountain that plays on a regular basis. And so when we go up to visit them, I check to see if they're playing, and I played with them up there, you know, just dropping in, and just dropping in it works out well. I mean,
And Highlands too.
yeah, Highlands.
And so in your experience moving around, now you're asking, hey, is there pickleball nearby?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
And you're finding, no matter where you go, a pretty inviting group of
Yeah.
people.
That's
Yeah.
right. And you don't have to get like 4 people. You know, like tennis, you really should get some partners, and you know, if
Right.
you're going to play or get a partner. But pickleball, you can go by yourself. If I'm playing with the baby grandchildren, he can just go
Yeah.
and play
And because of that in and out,
uh-huh,
you know,
Yeah.
who wants to play next?
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, it's a
kinda like
very
all-
inviting crowd, that most pickleball groups.
It's kind of like I was in Milwaukee growing up and we had to pick up basketball during the winter at
Uh-huh.
Marquette College.
oh,
So we go to the basketball area, all the kids in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
and they'd say, I got next game. And then when the game was over, you'd pick your team and everybody'd kind of sit and watch,
yeah,
you know, until the game was over.
that's it,
yeah,
that sounds like
You know,
the
and that's
same,
kind of what it goes on here.
yeah,
You know, we'll have 20 people, 30 people show up. I think Tuesday's going to be a big day.
good,
And people will be hanging out, talking, catching up
yeah,
over the holidays and waiting to play the next game.
that's right.
You know. So what do you think about the new facility now? You're the first ones to see it as a pickleball group.
well, I think it's great, I like the new nets that, are mobile and you can set up quickly, and, I'll encourage people to use it, and, the striping and all looks great, and so I think it'll be real positive.
I have a thing that I told our general manager, our board here, that in Bentry, if you come into Bentry as a golfer, you're most likely going to keep playing golf. Or you might have even come here for golf. In tennis, if you've played in the past, most likely you're going to keep playing tennis, right? Very few people in that 40 to 60 range will pick up a sport for the first time, especially something like golf and tennis, which are more difficult. Now, there's always going to be some that want to try it and are adventurous. But my feeling is pickleball doesn't have that same thing. It's a newer sport, so therefore, most likely people haven't played it.
You don't have a long history of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're here in Bentry and you play bocce, if you play with your kids or grandkids, if you walk, if you hike, you should at least give pickleball a try.
Yeah.
If you're active in this community, there's no reason not to try playing pickleball.
Yeah.
That's
I
right,
mean, you feel that's pretty sound advice?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do too,
Once again, it's something you can not master, but you can begin to compete very quickly, and, with pickleball, and we probably need to do more to attract people here to the facilities, and to just enhance the number of people, increase the number of people that are playing, and
More people is more fun in this
yeah,
sport.
it
yeah.
really